Hollywood is mourning the loss of one of its greatest legends. Oscar-winning actor, director, and founder of the iconic Sundance Film Festival, Robert Redford, passed away on September 16th. He was more than just an actor. He was a storyteller, a visionary, and a man who redefined what it meant to be a true artist in cinema. Robert Redford's career began in the 1960s, when Hollywood was going through one of its biggest transformations. At a time when movies were shifting from the golden age into grittier, more daring storytelling, Redford emerged as a fresh face with striking looks, undeniable charm, and a powerful screen presence. His breakout role came with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in 1969, opposite Paul Newman. The film wasn't just a hit, it became a cultural landmark. Redford's Sundance Kid character was so iconic that it would later inspire the name of the Sundance Film Festival, which he founded years later. The early 1970s saw him cement his stardom with films like The Sting, once again reuniting with Paul Newman. The movie won 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and solidified Redford's status as one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. He had that rare quality of being both a matinee idol and a serious actor who could dive deep into complex roles. But Robert Redford was never satisfied with just being in front of the camera. He had a vision, a dream of using cinema to tell meaningful stories, not just big studio blockbusters. In 1980, he directed his first film, Ordinary People. The film was a quiet, heartbreaking family drama that shocked Hollywood by winning the Academy Award for Best Director and Best Picture. Redford proved that his artistry went beyond acting. He was a master behind the camera, too. One of his greatest contributions to film, however, was founding the Sundance Film Festival. What started as a small gathering in Utah became the most important independent film festival in the world. Sundance gave rise to filmmakers like Quentin Tarantino, Steven Soderbergh, Damien Chazelle, and countless others. Redford believed in nurturing fresh voices and giving outsiders a chance, and that belief changed the entire landscape of filmmaking. Beyond the screen, Redford was deeply committed to environmental activism and political causes. He used his fame not just to entertain, but to inspire change. He often said that storytelling could move people to action, and his legacy proves that to be true. Fans and fellow actors have flooded social media with tributes since the news broke. Directors, actors, and film lovers alike have described him as a giant of cinema and the heart of independent film. Paul Newman's family even released a statement saying that Redford and Newman's bond was one of the most powerful partnerships in Hollywood history. What made Redford special was that he bridged generations. For moviegoers in the 1970s, he was the golden-haired rebel who brought grit and charisma to every role. For audiences in later decades, he was the wise, quiet figure in films like The Horse Whisperer and All Is Lost. Even in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he made an unforgettable mark playing Alexander Pierce in Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Robert Redford leaves behind not just a career, but a movement. A movement of cinema that dares to take risks, tell real stories, and amplify new voices. His films will continue to be watched, studied, and cherished for decades to come. His festival will continue to launch the careers of future storytellers. And his legacy will live on every time a young filmmaker dares to pick up a camera and dream. Today, the film industry bows its head in respect. We say goodbye to Robert Redford, the actor, the director, the activist, and the dreamer. He may have left this world, but his impact will remain eternal. Robert Redford wasn't just another actor who made it big in Hollywood. He was someone who redefined stardom itself. He had the charisma of a movie star, but also the soul of an artist. His career spanned more than 6 decades, making him one of the rare names who not only witnessed Hollywood's transformation but also led it. His breakthrough came in the 1969 classic Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, where he starred alongside Paul Newman. The chemistry between Redford and Newman became legendary. Audiences loved them, critics adored them, and together they created a buddy duo dynamic that filmmakers are still trying to replicate today. Redford's performance as the Sundance Kid became so iconic that it didn't just make him a household name, It inspired the very title of his future film festival. Then came the 1973 film The Sting, another Newman-Redford collaboration, which went on to win 7 Academy Awards. By the mid-70s, Robert Redford wasn't just a leading man, he was the leading man. With his golden hair, piercing eyes, and effortless screen presence, he was dubbed the Golden Boy of Hollywood. But beneath the surface, Redford wasn't content with being only a heartthrob. He wanted depth, substance, and impact. That desire pushed him behind the camera. In 1980, Redford directed Ordinary People. It was his directorial debut, and what a debut it was. The film, a quiet yet devastating family drama, stunned Hollywood by sweeping the Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director. With that, Redford proved that he wasn't just a star, he was a storyteller of the highest order. But perhaps his most influential work wasn't a film he acted in or directed. It was something larger, the Sundance Film Festival. Founded in the early 1980s in Utah, Sundance was Redford's way of giving a platform to filmmakers who didn't fit into the Hollywood mold. Over the years, it launched the careers of some of today's most respected directors: Quentin Tarantino with Reservoir Dogs, Steven Soderbergh with Sex, Lies, and Videotape, Damien Chazelle with Whiplash, and countless more. Without Sundance, independent cinema might never have had the global reach it enjoys today. Beyond Hollywood, Robert Redford was a passionate environmentalist. He used his fame to advocate for climate change awareness, conservation, and political reform. He didn't just play heroes on screen, he lived by principles that made him one in real life. Tributes have poured in from across the globe. Actors and directors alike are remembering him as a man who gave them their first big breaks. Fans are sharing their favorite Redford films, from the romantic sweep of Out of Africa to the survival grit of All Is Lost, to the political thrill of 3 Days of the Condor. He had a film for every mood, every era, and every kind of audience. And while his personal life was often kept private, Redford was known as someone deeply loyal to his family and friends. His bond with Paul Newman has gone down in Hollywood history as one of the most genuine friendships ever seen in the industry. Together, they didn't just make great films, they inspired an entire generation of actors to value collaboration over competition. Even younger audiences, who may not have grown up with his classics, knew Robert Redford from his later roles. Marvel fans remember him as Alexander Pierce in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. That role showed that, even in his later years, Redford still commanded the screen with the same authority and magnetism as in his prime. Studio microphone, this is Radio 1 International, remembering Robert Redford, the Sundance Kid, who now belongs to the ages.